Good afternoon, everyone. It's YC here. I just wanted to share my Thursday supper idea with you. I am going to be making some chops and some roasted potatoes and green beans. Just really simple, not a whole lot to it. I had to wait a little while because the Air Force was so loud. I had to wait for them to stop so I could even hear myself think. So I hope you are having a really good day today. I'm going to lower you a bit so you can see what I'm putting in my bowl to bread my chops. Okay. And there is my bowl. And I'm putting in a half a cup of flour and a third cup of cornmeal. And I'm going to put in some garlic. And if I think of it, I'll go ahead and put all this in the description for you, so you can copy it if you would like to. But I'm going to go ahead and put in a healthy teaspoon of garlic. And I'm going to put in a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. Because, you know, my family likes it on the spicy side. You already know that. And that was kind of heaping, but you know how they like it. They really do now. We go through a lot of this. So maybe in the comments you can tell me, what are you going to have for dinner this evening? Some people just take this week easy because they know, that they're going to be doing an Easter dinner on Sunday. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Like that. And a teaspoon of salt, like so. And then, of course, you want some black pepper, right? You just judge how much black pepper, your family would like. Because I'm using a pepper grinder, it's kind of hard for me to, it's a feel as you go kind of thing, right? And today, I'm going to be using Parmesan in my breading for my chops. I don't always do it, but if I'm looking, for a change, that's what I do. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and, I see it's a little bit chunky, so I'm going to try to break it up a bit in here, because I store this in the refrigerator. Yeah. I'll probably do about a 1/3 cup, like that, kind of like a scant one, not right to the top, It'll give it some flavor for sure. Okay, now I'm going to use my little whisk, and I'm going to whisk all those ingredients together. Yep. And what I do is I fry them on top of the stove in peanut oil with just a tablespoon of butter. And I put the tablespoon of butter in my peanut oil so that the crust will be sure to be a nice light brown. And when my chops get like that, then I finish cooking them on a rack in the oven. Yep. So these are the chops we have. And my husband bought a great big pack, and it was only $10, but they're beautiful. And I put 3 more in the freezer, and there's 4 here because there's 4 eating tonight. Yep. So and you know how I bread them. I'm going to scantily coat them a little bit first with just salt, pepper, and garlic, because I like to have some, seasonings right on the meat, like that, and just lightly, like that, and just my garlic. We are definitely you know, fans of garlic, and you know it's healthy for you. Yeah. Okay. Now, turn them over for sure. Like that. Okay. Let's see if I can get them going the same way I had them before, right? It's hard to get them the way you had it, right? I didn't use a big enough tray. Okay. Let me get a napkin for my fingers. Alrighty. And just a little bit of sodium. Not much, because it's going to be in our breading. There we go. Let's put this away. Probably take it out again when I season some potatoes. And there's my garlic. Okay. There we go. And now, I'm going to go ahead and put these in here and bread them. Yeah. Okay. Oh, the birds are singing out there. It's a gorgeous day here. It really is beautiful. It's hard to warm up inside the house, though. The house kind of stays cold while it warms up outside. Yeah. Now, as you already know, like I've explained, when these turn pinkish again, or like the flour has adhered to it, then I can, you know, dredge them a second time. And that way we know our breading isn't going to come off of them. Yeah. So that's what I do. Okay. Easy peasy, right? Chops are kind of a simple meal, unless you just don't like staying out frying and that, which you probably could just, you know, oven fry them or whatever. Or put them in the oven with seasonings and put some barbecue sauce on them. That's what I do when I don't feel like, you know, staying in at the stove and everything. Okay, so that's good. We got them all covered, and we're going to set this aside. Okay, and now I'll go ahead and get my peeler, and I've got to peel all these little tiny potatoes. And then I'm going to use butter and parsley, and we're going to roast them in the oven next to the chops. They're going to be parsleyed roasted potatoes. Let me go get my hands clean. Okay. I'm just gonna peel them, put them in here and wash them, and then you know, probably cut them, halve them or quarter them, so that, you know, I can put them in the oven, and they'll cook within probably 20 minutes at 350. Pretty sure. I don't know why I didn't put them on a bag, but that's okay. I can wipe my counter. I always use the old grocery bags. This one's from the Piggly Wiggly. Some of y'all never heard of a Piggly Wiggly, but some of you that have been around a while and lived in the South, you know what Piggly Wiggly is. That's where the chops came from. A lot of our really good meats come from there. They got some good stuff there now. But our ham on sale, it came from Food Lion. Yeah. Okay. See? I'm going to cut them down to like all basically the same size, so they'll be done roasting around the same time. Yeah. And this will taste good with the green beans that I'm going to be doing and the chops. Yep. We are not sure yet if my husband gets Good Friday off or not. I'm assuming he would, but sometimes they don't tell him anything. I told him, why don't you ask? And he says that he don't because he figures if they don't care enough about him to tell him, he'll go in and they'll be forced to pay him. So, wasn't that something for you, huh? My goodness. I would not want to get up early on a day where I could sleep in. But that's just me. I was just noticing that my green beans I'm using, I usually use frozen, but this time I have canned because my husband picked them up. They're Food Club. I have 2 cans of the Food Club. Yeah, hadn't seen that in a while. But I'm sure they're good. Yeah, they're good till, I saw where they're good till December anyway. See, and while I'm doing this, the chops are starting to turn a pink because my flour mixture on there is adhering to the meat, so that's good. And you may not do this, like some people just take them out of the package and pat them dry. I actually rinse them with water from, you know, the blades that cut through the bone in it and everything, and put wood like bone everywhere, and the fat that's flung everywhere. And I actually rinse mine. Now they say, oh, don't do that. No, whatever. I do. In this house, our chicken gets cleaned, our chops get cleaned. I'm very, very fussy and particular. People say, oh, you know, we bleach our sinks. And they'll say, oh, you still don't get it all. It causes germs. How's it causing germs if you don't get it all? What do you think? I'm going to go around licking all the corners of the sinks and everything? Come on. Be for real. Everything we ingest, I want it to be nice and clean. I've always been like that. I didn't have any problems growing up, and we always washed chicken and stuff. But that's a age-old controversy, isn't it? Oh. My parsley was looking good the other day. It looks kind of wilted now. It's been in the fridge for a little bit. I thought about making biscuits. I'm not sure if I will or not. I had used up the rest of my whole milk. So when I was making, yesterday I made an apricot crumble. Yeah. But I have 1%. And you know how they sell milk in boxes? I have a box of 1%. And that will still, well, I can even make biscuits with water. I'm pretty good at making biscuits with whatever you want to throw my way. I'm pretty good at it. So I will toot my own horn on that one. Okay, there we go. Woohoo! And I'll show you, I'm going to wash these here in a second. And then, you know, proceed to cut them for when I want to roast them. And this, I just need to throw out, right? So that's okay. Now, I will show you what I'm going to do with those cans of green beans. I have a piece of ham and ham fat. And I keep this in the freezer for whenever we do hams. See how it has some ham and it has some fat. See that? See the fat on there? So this is gonna, sometimes I use bacon. It just depends. So I'm gonna use this to flavor my green beans. And I just cut it in little tiny pieces. And I roast it in here, you know, get it going here. And yeah, I render it, I guess is what they would call it, right? And then when it has a nice fat consistency, I throw in those green beans and stir them around, and then add a little fluid. And the flavor is amazing. Yeah. Yep. So there you go. And I'm just going to render that down and put my green beans in it. So now I can do some of my parsley. It's looking kind of sad and droopy, isn't it? I'll just go ahead and... What I do is, some people chop it real quick. I just cut mine with the scissors. I'm going to put some in this little half cup. And I'll be able to put this over my potatoes after they roast. And see, while I'm doing all these little chores of this, that, and the other, this is constantly turning more pink. So that's good. And that means that I'll be able to put another flour coating on it with my Parmesan cheese and my cornmeal. That's a good thing. Yeah. All right. It was crazy. Sometimes it could be so quiet, you could hear a pin drop, right? And then next thing you know, the Air Force is going and the helicopters are going, and oh my goodness. And then, of course, on a Friday night, sirens are going, and oh my goodness gracious. Like, what's going on, right? Okay, so there you go. You got that. And I just take this, and I go like, usually I use like a little teacup, and I just cut it up like this with scissors. I just constantly cut, and I get the parsley that I need for my potatoes. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to eventually, well, I definitely need new dishcloths, so I want to check out all these, and because they would be reasonable there. My son recently got us some new pot holders from there because we desperately needed pot holders. We go through those quite a bit, and but now we need new dishcloths, so I'm going to check out all these. But I would also like to check them out for a new salt and pepper set. Because this, I have the pepper, you know, that you crush with the grinder. But I have this one, but the bottom falls out a lot. And salt literally like just gets everywhere and makes a huge mess. So it is time for us to get a new salt and pepper. And I like those ones they show in some of the videos, you know, that you just press a button and it kind of grinds. I don't know. I don't know if I want to pay that. You know what I mean? Because I don't like to spend money. I'm tight and thrifty. I don't know if that means the same thing or not. It might be opposite for all I know. All right, so this is good. I'm making a mess. That's all I'm doing now is making a mess. But you get the idea. I'm going to be putting parsley with my potatoes and some other seasonings and make them taste really, really good. And it's time for me to go bring some of my stuff over to the stove and I'll bring you back. Okay, everyone, I've got my spices I wanted put on my potatoes, and here they are on the pan to be roasted. And like I said, that probably will only take 15-20 minutes, and these will be roasted. See how pretty they look? And they'll just be, you know, a little bit more brown. Okay, and there's the bowl I mixed it in. And these are definitely pink now, so I'm going to go ahead and dredge them one more time, and they'll be ready for me to fry. Yep. And I've already rendered my little ham and fat to go to season my green beans. Yep. And there you go, they're ready to be fried. And that's my meal prep for today for potatoes that are parsleyed, fried chops, and seasoned green beans. And I'll make sure I take a photo of these after I cook them. And that way you get to see what it looks like.